Hello everybody and welcome back to Ruler Waves 2. So this war will probably be officially and actually ending this part or next, depending exactly on how this goes. I won't be doing what I did last time when the war ended and modifying the save to put us back at war. I should note that I do think that the British are probably the only country that'll be able to recover from losing this war. Everybody else is basically failing to recover in any real meaningful way. But let's go ahead and continue on. Ooh, I'm going to be forced to fight this one. And the British are going to give battle. Although it was an unexpected battle if I recall correctly, so that's not too surprising. So, let's see. We need to sink 6 transports. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. I do have some CVs down there, but they're not going to do anything. Looks like we're not going to get our... I mean, I guess I'm fine with that. But it looks like we're not going to have the dreadnoughts or battle cruisers or anything like that here, which I think I'm okay with. Let's see this. This is a German design. And it is not that great in my opinion. But then again, I've never really found Germany's designs particularly good. Now, okay, day should be breaking at some point during this battle. Well, hello there. Go ahead and get our guys into the actual formation that I want them in, not this crappy formation that they are in. Those are probably enemy dreadnought, or not dreadnoughts, destroyers I meant. Which, yes, that is in fact the case. What are you? You're the hull. And the hull is sinking because I'm not surprised. I mean, come on guys, we ran into an enemy. We literally could not identify them fast enough. I'm not surprised that we lost a ship. Sure. Smith. You have an arc on that one, you fire. I'm going to tell you to turn in, because otherwise you're going to potentially run into those torpedoes. Smith, do you got a shot on this one? You do. Don't want you to fire on that one, though, is probably the bigger question, and I think I'm going to say yes. So we're going to lose a destroyer, which sucks, but we'll live. Ouch, that hurt. Lawrence. Okay, they got a battle cruiser apparently. Thank you, game, for giving the enemy a battle cruiser. Then again, I don't think I have any battle cruisers of my own here, so I'm not too shocked by this. Or at least I shouldn't be. That may even be another battle cruiser for all I know. I think I'll have to Drayton fire its torpedoes there. I'm going to tell you, try it. Maybe you get lucky. You probably won't, but you never know. You... No, I think that's likely to hit Bismarck. You also just go ahead and fire those. You never know. You might just get lucky. Oh, okay, well. Don't gotta worry about that guy anymore. Turns out the battlecruiser died. I don't know what's going on with the Tuxton. I need data break so I can... Those are the transports up there. I'm gonna have the Perry Stewart Potting and the Rowe and Smith go up there. The Lawrence is gonna break off, however, because I think they took a big shell. Is that it? Yes, they took a 16-inch shell to the hull. Yeah, they're going home, which, well, at least in the direction of home. They may not make it, but I think they will. And the Truxton, or Truxton, whatever, will also be going home. Well, now we can at least sort of have a bit of an easier time identifying stuff. And also actually having decent range as well. Oh, no, not quite. Oh, yeah, no, there we go, yeah. Having decent range. Once the spotting actually finally takes effect. Somebody has radar. Who has radar? Oh. My Houstons apparently have radar on them. Or, well, one of you do. I don't actually know if it's the Houston or if it's the Hampton here, but one of you guys has radar. And so you're spotting... Or do both of you? Actually, both of you, I think, have it. That's why we are able to spot that guy up there. Okay, well that guy's taking a good shot, so he's gonna sink. And that's one of their 1,500-ton destroyers. Is that actually a battle cruiser? Because if it is, that's another thing I want to sink. And a bunch of corvettes. Well, a number of corvettes, which may actually be destroyers, of course, because as we've noted, our guys are not the best at identifying stuff. Okay, those just went right through the guy. I'm just gonna have you guys sort of fire yours. The potting is too far back. You don't really have much. You fire there. Basically, any of those hits are going to guarantee that that shit sinks. Perry is taking a torpedo, so it's breaking. Well, it took a hit. It may not have been a torpedo, obviously, but it took a hit, so it's breaking off. To reorganize the line, which I don't want it to do, and it's not... Oh no, that's the Perry. I was selecting the wrong one. The Perry, I do in fact want you to break off. Okay, you just rammed into the Grasshopper, which is an old 600-ton destroyer. Oh yeah, that is being identified in fact as a battle cruiser. It's a fairly recent design. That was, I think, their first attempt, more or less, at a all-forward design. So, yeah, we're gonna go and sink that, if you don't mind. You're gonna go up north because there's some ships over here that I don't know what they are. They may be transports, I'm not certain. But yeah, I kind of want you to attempt to intercept in any way you can, and the first Bismarck has taken tons of hits. It ain't doing so hot against the Suffolk here. Oh, it's being shot at by the secondaries. The Suffolk, I think, is actually firing... Maybe? I'm not sure, actually, if it is firing on my New York and Hampton, or Northampton. Also, yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a hard time catching up. Oh, damn it. Paul Jones, you're the one that's damaged. Okay, the Drayton is not supposed to go with you, game. That's your problem. You're trying to put something that is not meant to go with you. That first Bismarck is sinking. Paul Jones, sure, go ahead, do that. You stop it. Go home. Now let's try this again. Yeah, I'm not surprised you're sinking. That was kind of fully expected. You guys turn back around. Row's gonna break off because it's very heavily damaged. You're gonna go at 9 knots until you get out of range, and then I'll tell you to slow down to a nice leisurely 5 knots. Okay, for whatever reason you guys are splitting up, I'm not sure why. So be it. You guys also decided to split up, I think. Okay, and the first Bismarck took a torpedo or something. There's reasons. Don't know why you're so badly damaged. What the hell hit you? Well, radar was disabled. You took a... okay, Suffolk probably hit you. Because it's right there. Well, I've got a number of destroyers coming in, but I don't know if any of them actually have torpedoes still. Paulding does, because it hasn't had a chance to fire its yet, so the Paulding's gonna go ahead and drop a torpedo load into that battle cruiser. Or at least it's gonna try. Paul Jones, sure, whatever. You keep picking people up. Oh, New York is gonna sink, I think. The McDougal is... or what? Whatever that is. That one's gonna sink if it doesn't leave, so it's gonna go ahead and try and get out of there. You were not supposed to fire yours, unless I explicitly gave you orders to do so. But at least you managed to shoot at the right frickin' target for once. Sometimes you guys don't do that. That's the reason why I always need to tell you what I want you to do. Okay. You still have torpedoes. Perry, what's going on with you? Why are you going so slow? I'm assuming you took a hit to the engine room. That thing should be slowing down. Okay, we still have not sunk 6 apparently. Which is a little surprising, to be honest, but whatever. Can't do anything about that. There we go, now we have. Okay, now the Whipple here can also fire some torpedoes into the Suffolk, because it's apparently still going. Well, not anymore. But I want to make sure it sinks, so go ahead, fire a nice torpedo load into it. And you know what? Go ahead, fire the other one into it as well. You guys head down here, Smith, Northampton. I guess just keep trying to sink more of their stuff while we can, with whatever we can. Oops, I'm pretty sure I selected you, but apparently it did not take. Spotting is going to go ahead and turn back. Oh shit, they do actually have their dreadnoughts. Yeah, game didn't give me those, so we sunk their stuff. We sunk the 6 things. We're leaving. Everybody go south. Just go south. I'm trying to select you guys. You fired your torpedoes because reasons. Yeah, no, go south. Everybody's just gonna go south as quickly as they can. We're gonna try and get out of here. So the Rodney and Repulse class are gonna survive. Oh, Perry's... whatever. Sorry, Perry. You're just gonna have to die. We did not launch any aircraft at all, which, I mean, I'm fine with. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so the weather was limiting air operations. Everybody just get out of there as quickly as you can. Bro, I don't care if you're going to potentially blow a bulkhead. You need to get out of there. No longer spotted, so you can slow down. Spotting is spotting unidentified ships. Okay, so I think what happened is they got some reinforcements that were coming in sort of from the south-ish. Or maybe right over here, actually from Halifax. And yeah, that didn't quite go for us. Did you guys get your radar working again? Because I could have sworn it was disabled. Yes, you managed to get it repaired a couple of times and then have it get disabled by either your own guns firing or by being shot at. So, great job, guys. That was a bit of heavier losses than I would have liked, but we did damage. Sunk some battle cruisers and some other stuff as well. And shit. I realistically probably should have just sailed out into the middle of the Atlantic instead of heading inland. Yeah. Change of plan, guys. Anyone who can, you're gonna go ahead and just sail out into the middle of the Atlantic, because trust me, this is gonna work so much better for you than going inland. Turns out I wasn't quite thinking straight when I told you guys to go south. Kind of failed to take into account the whole enemy still owns Nova Scotia here and was going to launch aircraft. Luckily, though, we should have quite a few aircraft around our carriers here, so it's unlikely they'll take any serious hits. Now that I've said that, one of them's gonna take a serious hit. No. I know you guys need to do the whole turning into the wind stuff, but no. Much more important that you get out of range. Yellow is dive bombers. Typically, medium bombers don't really do much. Let's be honest here. They really don't. Mostly for the simple reason that they level bomb. And level bombing, not super effective. Profounders due to heavy seas. No, no, no. Turn back out to sea. Same with you, Ranger. You turn back out to sea. You guys are almost done. Game is not ending the battle yet. Okay. Keep going out to sea, guys. Apparently there is still a little too much being close to enemies. There we go. So, sunk 2 battle cruisers, lost 5 destroyers, which kind of sucks, to be honest. And 2 armored cruisers, though 1 was not ours, so it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, I could stand to have more budget, so only the Navy can win this war. Okay, we've taken Grand Bahama. That was, nice. That did not take any real time at all. So, that's great. Don't gotta worry about that. Still attempting invasion of Hong Kong, but that got delayed due to unfavorable weather. Once we take that, however, I believe that's one of their largest holdings, right? Yeah, 200 base capacity in Southeast Asia. The other is Singapore at 100. And Western Australia is not worth much. It's only 50. So once I tank Hong Kong, that pretty much will limit their naval operations in Southeast Asia significantly, which they've actually pretty much left us uncontested. Actually, they have 8 corvettes. The Italians have a bit of a navy here, but it's nothing particularly strong. So we just kind of have to survive. Now it is interesting that we still apparently do not have a naval blockade over them in Northern Europe. Considering that the Germans have 4 dreadnoughts, 3 battle cruisers, 10 armored cruisers, a CV, 4 CVLs, 5 AVs, and 30 destroyers, along with 46 corvettes, for whatever those are worth. Compared to the combined might of the British and Italian forces there of 1 dreadnought, 3 battle cruisers, 9 armored cruisers, 3 CVL, or excuse me, 2 CLs, 1 CV, 4 CVLs, an AMC, 5 destroyers, and 11 corvettes. The Germans should be blockading Northern Europe. And yet, they're not. And I would expect that they are over any percentages that are required to be over the enemy in Northern Europe to be able to officially be blockading it. But apparently that's not the case. Which is just weird. But so be it. Hopefully our guys manage to win in Nova Scotia soon, because I'd kind of like to be able to move on to Newfoundland. In the meantime, we continue our battles. Oh, actually, I think the reason why our corvettes probably, or our dreadnoughts probably weren't allowed to go in, they're probably getting radar. And getting radar equipped does actually take you out of combat for a little while. I'm not sure if these Californias already had it at the start of the last turn or not, but I think they may not have. Those guys are in Southeast Asia. I'll leave them be. Do I want to maybe move one of the guys in Southeast Asia out of there? Because I don't think I need all of that in Southeast Asia. And that's quite a few dreadnoughts there. Although there's really nowhere to move them, to be honest, so... Well, I suppose I could move them to the Caribbean. What do I have there, exactly? I have 5 Wyomings. And that's actually it there, just 5 Wyomings. I'll take 2 of you guys. I'll take the 2 already with radar, in fact. And I'm going to move them to the Caribbean, because I only have a Kentucky there. And it currently will not be involved in any battles because it's taking a turn off to give itself radar. But I could stand to have some more in the Caribbean. Cruiser action. They're not going to give me battle. I assume they will give me this. Yeah. So we're going to get to fight a big battle. Or maybe not. Because as it turns out, all we have here are destroyers and some cruisers. There you guys go. Don't need you spawning on top of each other if you don't mind. Kinda makes my life a little bit harder. And also, get into formation, people. I don't know what it is with you, and I know why you do screen. It makes sense, technically, but I prefer if you don't. I don't really care for it. I don't need you guys screening anything. Line abreast just works, so stick with that. And we'll keep flying in this direction now. Sadly, they are going to be able to launch aircraft at us, so I'd prefer not to get past this yellow line if I can avoid it. Also, I was looking at the wiki, or well, the fandom page, whatever, before, and as it turns out, torpedo bombers are a 1917 technology. We are just getting really frickin' unlucky that we have never researched it, despite it being 1940 something, 1942. So, yeah, that's a thing apparently. Dive bombers are also, I think, like a 1930, like 1931 or something like that, I want to say, but I could be misremembering that technology. So again, we're just getting really freaking unlucky with not researching dive bombers and torpedo bombers. So we're just left with fighters on our carriers, which, I mean, are fine for giving me tons and tons of cap, but I could also get tons and tons of cap by having just multiple carriers involved in a battle. And I would still be able to, if I actually had dive bombers and torpedo bombers, they'd be useful against enemy ships. As it stands right now, they're not particularly useful against enemy ships for the simple reason that I only have fighters, and fighters aren't even allowed to strafe enemy aircraft or enemy ships to try to do literally anything. Oh, those are dive bombers. Yeah, no, fuck it. We're just gonna leave. We're gonna go ahead and cross back over that yellow line. The British are gonna get some score because they did some damage to us. But our guys need to hurry their asses up and frickin' take Nova Scotia, or at least knock out the damn airbase. Sadly, I don't think there's an event for that, but I would love it if there was fighting around an area. If there were events for destroying enemy fortifications, like airfields or coastal batteries, things like that. And Frederick took a torpedo, and it took 2 torpedoes, so it's sinking. Yep. I should have just said fuck it and not bothered going in. And then now night comes in. Obviously though, because it's night, we wouldn't be able to spot them anyway, because we don't have any freaking radar, especially now that the Frederick has sunk. Also, technically our guys should just be trying to overwhelm their airfield. Prevent them from being able to do anything. Realistically. I don't think the game gave me a pop-up for what I wanted my aircraft to do for the land-based guys. Otherwise, I would have told them to suppress enemy aircraft. Not that that would have probably done much, because our fighters don't quite have the range. It has a chance of sinking. I'm not going to go ahead and let it take that chance, especially since it's one of our new hull classes. We torpedoed an enemy armored cruiser. Oh, they had 2 fucking CVs as well, apparently. Oh, they were... Game, you had me going in the wrong frickin' direction. You had me going up north, east, which, generally speaking, the heading my ships are already going in is the direction the enemy is. 99% of the time. Evidently, that was not the case. The enemy was... Let's see, pull this up. The enemy was heading south, and they headed east, and then straight south again. I was never gonna spot them. Yeah, no. Whatever. The British get lucky. Oh, the British are finally putting radar on their stuff. Apparently we beat them to that. I know that game. Don't let them off lightly. Fighting continues in Nova Scotia. We continue to fail miserably at getting torpedo bombers, because why would I ever want torpedo bombers? The game didn't tell me anything about how the invasion of Hong Kong was going. Suppress enemy airfields. Screw it, that's much more important to me. And what have I... Okay, my objective is something, and aircraft are going to be allowed to launch, annoyingly. Nope, not AI controlled. I meant to do that. You have radar, I assume, right? You do, but it's shitty radar, of course. Because it's still level 1, so it doesn't have a lot of range, and it's very prone to getting knocked out by literally anything. See if our guys can spot them. I would love to sink the Argus, I really frickin' would, but we just can never find it. Also... Oh, game, putting me in the wrong damn heading again. The enemy is apparently actually to the south, but the game had me going northeast. Which, I suppose, northeast doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, because we have St. John here. Not to be confused with the other St. John's. Do both of you have radar? No. Only the Northampton has radar. Why does the Minneapolis... You just haven't gotten it yet. Oh, you're also CL. That's probably part of the reason why you haven't gotten it yet either. In theory, those guys are apparently heading... east-northeast. We should spot them soonish, if... You know, that heading is still accurate in any way. Looks like it was a little off. They turned north a little bit earlier than our thing was projecting. cruiser. And that's probably a bunch of destroyers. You say CLs, and those might actually be CLs, but there's probably a number of... The rest of that stuff's destroyers. So 2 CLs, probably actually a destroyer, although it could also be another CL. That's definitely a destroyer, and that's a armored cruiser. Say CL, but I'm inclined to think that's another destroyer, probably a 1500 tonner, and that's why you're mislabeling it as a CL. Yep. But I thought, oh, also this is labeled as an old British destroyer, so they haven't given it a rebuild within the past decade. You're still trying to approach. I would love to drop a torpedo into the armored cruiser because that would make my life much easier. Although apparently one of its guns is disabled, so that's potentially helpful. Yeah, I probably should design some new armored cruisers. Ours are kind of old. The enemies are running around a lot of times now with these 6-gun armored cruisers, and ours are... The Frederick... no, I think the Houstons are newer, but we don't have the Houston here. But the Houstons are, I think, very similar to the Fredericks here, where they just have the 4 10-inch guns. If I'm recalling correctly what my design is, I think the biggest thing with the Houstons is just they have newer, better armor. You could fire at low speed, but that's unlikely to hit, to be honest. So I'm not going to have you do that. You turn south, try to force their armored cruiser into a turn. There we go, that's a turn I can potentially do something with. And that spread should force you to run into something. Oh, lucky you. You picked up speed in that turn just enough to avoid getting hit. I need you guys to destroy that thing, so if you don't mind. Really? Oh yeah, I suppose you do have a friendly in the way, technically speaking. Okay, that... Okay, you took a torpedo. I was not aiming for you in any way, but you still managed to take one. Also, I could have sworn I told you not to fire your damn torpedoes, but you fucking did it anyway. But apparently, maybe I didn't tell you to do it, but I thought I did. I'm like 90% certain I did. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. I can't tell if his rudder is hit. I think his rudder actually is hit. That would explain so much as to why the hell he's turning constantly. That I think should hit. Oh yeah. Oh, and you took all of them. You're done for. I'll give you one last set though, just to make sure it sticks. But yeah, you're done for. Drayton, you turn off because you're taking a little too much damage for my liking. You go back to Portland. You guys, some of you are breaking off. At least the Wibble is. And I think the Smith might as well, actually, yeah. And I'm going to control you guys because AI controlled go back home typically sends them, well, not back home more often than not, actually. Which is just weird, because you would expect it would always send them to the nearest friendly port. Like, that would be the only thing I would expect it to look for is, where's the nearest friendly port? Oh, it's over there? Okay. You head in that direction. But that's not what it does a lot of the times. I often find it tends to send them in the opposite direction of the nearest friendly port for some reason. I've never quite been able to figure out. Those guys, you claim heavy damage. That's not in any way accurate. Also, turn. Because they're probably going to try and launch a torpedo at you if they haven't already. That'll screw with their targeting a little. Did both of those guys? Well, the Comet's dead. Ah, the Foxhound was repeating what the Comet was doing. Because the Comet had its rudder get hit, I think. Yeah, you guys are the nice, cool, new dual gun destroyer designs, and all your guns are disabled. Yeah, all your guns are disabled. That sucks for you, because you're literally not able to shoot back now. You just need to get a nice solid hit on the Foxhound and it's gonna go down. Hell, just go for the engine room, that's fine. I'll be okay with that. Oh, you turned. Okay, now we've destroyed your forward gun, and we apparently blew up one of your torpedo racks. I don't know if you already fired those torpedoes or not, because you're not sinking. And you don't seem to actually have taken significant damage, so either you don't have oxygen-fueled torpedoes, or you might have already fired those torpedoes. And this is just a case of us, we hit a tube for a mounting of torpedoes that just doesn't have any torpedoes in it, so it didn't do anything. I want you to go and make sure that okay, that Amazon's sunk. Never mind. And that Foxhound is going down, so the Northampton's going to turn off to go after the other Foxhound, unless my guys are able to deal with it over here, which they might be, because it's slowing down a lot. Yep, Lawrence. Yep, there we go. So there you go. Made up for that last battle. Latest army offensive was halted by the enemy after a 200-yard advance. Despite several waves of attacking, enemy gains 100 VP. Great job, guys. Germany wants to buy something. I kind of need money, Germany, so sure. Oh, British destroyer. That's an old design. I don't know why you're telling me about it right now. It's a rebuild, which I assume was probably just giving it the light AA guns and maybe upgrading the torpedo tubes. I don't really care about the Italian dive bombers. Unexpected advancement in fleet tactics. Advanced signaling. Signaling errors less likely. Deck park. Which I don't think actually works. I should note. I'm pretty sure this does not actually work. I could be wrong. Our new fighter is apparently faster than expected, which is nice. Oh, you bastards. You sunk the North Carolina. Okay, well, that's a thing that happened. Look at a new heavy cruiser design. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of. I would give it torpedo protection, and No. No. We're gonna do 4-inch guns. Don't bother with the tertiaries. Fit as many of those as I can on there. Don't bother with torpedoes. Slap as much of those as I can on there. I want unit machinery, inclined belt, box magazine. Only 2 inches on the secondaries is fine. Speed of 39. How does that compare to other armored cruisers, out of curiosity? It's a little on the slower side. Looking at this, I'm seeing a number of 31s, although 29 is still okay. So we're gonna go with that. There we go. It's not a lot of ammo in my opinion, only 100 rounds per gun. Actually, I suppose that's okay. And yeah, we'll go with this design. 59, heavy A factor is pretty good. Go ahead, get that design going. You're not going to give me that. You are going to give me this. Oh god, it's a carrier battle. Reality is, if it gives me my frickin' dreadnoughts, we can win this easily. Okay, apparently the game decided nope. Parliament authorizes additional war loans, naval budget increased. Apparently now I'm being blockaded. What the fuck, Germany? What are you doing? Why the hell are you on R? You're supposed to be on active fleet. Okay, what the fuck is going on here? So, British brought in... See, that's such a minor difference, and yet somehow I'm being blockaded. There was a much larger difference over here between the Germans and the British before, and the British weren't being blockaded. So why the hell am I now being blockaded with a much smaller gap than what existed previously? Either way, if the game just gives me my frickin' dreadnoughts, we can easily win any battle you throw at us, game. Literally any. You just gotta give me my dreadnoughts. For some reason you don't frickin' do it. Let's see. We still have quite a bit of VP headroom, so we'll be fine, I think. I know about that game. Yes, yes. With our fleet in firm control of the waters in Southeast Asia, our troops have invaded the British possession of Hong Kong. Finally. Sunk a corvette of ours. We sunk a submarine of theirs. We're no longer being blockaded. I'm guessing some... Okay, they pulled their entire frickin' fleet out of North American East Coast, apparently. We were repulsed here, so we're gonna have to try again invading Nova Scotia. So let's try again. This shouldn't be difficult, in theory. Reality is, I don't know why we failed to take Nova Scotia during the initial engagements, but apparently we did. I still have quite a bit of leeway. We're going to save money and not upgrade our docks further. You're not going to give me that. I don't expect you to give me this either. And you are. Interesting. What the hell are you bringing? Because you have an estimated 4 battle cruisers, and yet... Or not battle cruisers, armored cruisers. If those estimates are in any way accurate, you are not winning this. So the question is just, were our estimates way off? Which is always a possibility. Or is the enemy really that ballsy that they legitimately think they have a chance? Because I think it's much more likely that they don't actually have a shot here at all. But they're still willing to give it a chance. Even though there's no way they're succeeding. And nightfall, so we're not finding them. Even with the radar on our dreadnoughts and our battle cruisers there, and the armored cruisers, we're not finding them. I'm fairly certain of that. Okay, so this is just going to be a waste of time, pretty much. This battle here. Got the old Wyomings. You guys might as well just sail off to Hong Kong and just bombard the crap out of it. It'll be much more useful if you do that. Just set this to ultra fast and just wait for time to tick by because, like I said, we're not finding them. And there goes the game again. Enemy's heading in a different frickin' direction. Game started us off going in the wrong frickin' heading. The exception would be my dreadnoughts, which probably would have been able to spot these guys potentially. If we had kept them going in the direction they were going in, but then they would have been way out of position to get any support, so obviously that's not a great idea. Unknown radar contact, there we go. Via armored cruisers. Don't know what you are, but I'm sinking you. No way in hell you're gonna survive this. Oh, quite a few stuff it looks like around here. Those are probably destroyers. But good luck actually identifying them. Yep, those are destroyers. That's kind of what I expected. You misunderstood. Nope, never mind. Who misunderstood? You misunderstood signals. I don't know what signals you could have misunderstood, but you did. You got a shot at that CVL. Go ahead and take it. The Ericsson also should have a shot as a result. Go ahead and take it. Don't know if they're going to keep that heading, but if they do, nasty surprise for that CVL, but it apparently avoided the torpedoes. Or they were duds. Not quite sure which. Either way, lucky them. Oof, that hurt. Don't quite have an arc apparently. Now you should. Go ahead and fire that and the Jacob Jones is going to break off. Or not, because it's not damaged enough to be allowed to break off for reasons. Yeah, he's dead. And Jacob Jones now is damaged enough to be allowed to break off. So, Jacob Jones, break off. You are going to sail southeast. As said you're going to sail southeast. Thank you. And keep going until you've well exited range. That should be far enough. Slow down to a nice 5 knots to minimize chance of blowing a bulkhead. Don't know why the Wadsworth is blue, because again, that's the color used to identify British ships. Oh. Raleigh took a torpedo. I'm a little shocked that you took a torpedo, Raleigh. I'm gonna be honest, but you did apparently get a hit on that guy and sink him. He's not moving. New Mexico took a torpedo, okay. New Mexico, you're gonna break off because I don't want you to sink. You guys have actually... I want to... No, the New Mexicos have not been in service the longest. Technically, some other stuff has been in service longer. The Pueblos, for example. Those were a starter design. But the... Really? You don't have an arc on that guy? I'm kind of surprised by that, to be honest. There you go, fire that. Wadsworth, do you have one on this dude at the back? Just behind you, you do. North Carolina, turn in to minimize chance of getting hit by a friendly torpedo. Now turn back out. In Mexico, you just keep going at a nice leisurely pace. You turn back around, you turn around. Don't let that destroyer escape. Those guys are dead in the water. We'll let the dreadnoughts come by at a nice slow cruising speed. That should give them plenty of time to be able to get shots in. To hopefully guarantee that they sink. Stret, you have a shot. Give it one more torpedo. You have a shot there. It's not a particularly great angle though, but go ahead. You got a hit. You have a much better angle. Really, New Mexico? Okay, slow down even further because... Oh, your flooding is not under control. You suck at this. The Raleigh's already sinking, so go ahead and just fire... Okay, that missed. Turn, you guys go, you guys keep circling. No New Mexico. There's a reason I told you to break off. I need you to get that flooding under control and go at a nice, slow pace. Okay, you got the flooding under control. I still want you to go home. You are way too beat up from that one frickin' torpedo. Raleigh is sinking, isn't it? Yeah, thought so. It's still moving quite a bit for a ship that is supposedly sinking. You guys turn back in. You're losing sight. Slow down, in fact. Go to a nice slow 10 knots instead of cruising speed, which is 16 for you guys. Here we go. One of the CVLs has finally sunk. These other ones, in theory, shouldn't be too far behind. Well, lucky for you guys, you don't got to worry about any aircraft to use that AA ammo on. There we go. 2 down. Lost sight of the Corvette, or whatever the hell it was. Well, it was a destroyer, but it was being labeled as a Corvette. We'll go ahead and finish this battle real quick, and then we'll end this part. Yep, okay, we're not gonna be able to find it, so let's just, everybody leave. Just go south. Yep, go ahead. Pick up survivors, that's fine. Particularly from the rally. The enemy had an armored cruiser somewhere. Apparently they had armored cruisers. I don't know where the hell they were. Oh, they were way the hell up here. Also, apparently we did... Well, I'm not seeing a point for sinking the destroyer that was over here somewhere. So... It, in theory, survived, but I'm not seeing it showing up at all. So, that's a thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't sink any. There was one that I was following that was going up to the north-ish. Or northwest-ish. Before I lost track of it because I had to focus on trying to sink those CVLs. I really don't care about Corvette designs, guys. Boeing has a new medium bomber for us. Let's see. It's faster by quite a bit, has quite a bit more range. Is a little bit tougher. The light bomb load stays the same at 500 pounds. The medium bomb load goes up to 1,000 from 600. And the heavy bomb load goes from a single 1,500 to 2 1,000s, which is technically better because it's 2,000 pounds as opposed to 1,500. But I just kind of like that it has a lot more speed and a lot more range. So we're going to take that. Britain has apparently increased their budget. Again, we're not going to build any of those because we don't quite have the money. And there we go. In theory, the British should be getting blockaded. They're not because reasons. Again, they should be. Whatever. So that's going to be it for this part. I will see you all next time, where we will be continuing this war, which I kind of expected to end this part, but apparently that will not be the case. Hopefully we finally managed to figure out how to invade Nova Scotia, because our guys, they did it, but they kind of suck at the whole actually taking it part. At the end of this war, I will probably take Iceland off of the British, so I have a holding in Northern Europe. Some of you might be thinking, why would you want that? Just because if I ever go to war with Germany, France, Great Britain, or actually the Soviets as well, basically all the European powers with the exception of Italy, it opens up the ability for me to be able to fairly easily blockade them. Or at least ensure most of the fighting takes place away from home. Though admittedly, Iceland's not the best. Ireland would be better, but Ireland also has the issue of it's a little too close to the British mainland, so if they have any airfields, which they do, yeah, it'll be Baltics, or Balkans, no, Baltics, yeah, Baltics. Always get the two confused. The Baltics 2.0. Well, not even really 2.0. It'll just be sort of a mirror of it, because this is hell to sail through. If you're fighting either the Soviet, well, the Russians/Soviets in this case, or the Germans, you do not want to be fighting in the Baltics here. Especially once planes come around, because oh boy, does it just make fighting in here result in you needing tons and tons of AA, either from carrier launched fighters to just heavy AA factor and everything, because you're just going to have to be dealing with aircraft this entire way. So I probably will not take Ireland, because I just feel like that'll be a miniature version of sailing through the Baltics. So admittedly, that'll probably be the case anyway. But I mostly just want to be able to field a navy here to blockade them potentially. But either way, that'll be it for this part. I will see you all next time, but until then, goodbye and farewell.